Doctors thought Chelsea and Darson's twins had no fighting chance. When they realized the couple's daughters were conjoined, they advised them to terminate the pregnancy. But Chelsea's healthy-born daughters defied all odds and continued to do so. In June 2016, Chelsea found out she was pregnant with twins. She and her husband Nick were no strangers to being parents. In fact, they already had a son. His name was Jason, and they were due to celebrate his birthday a few days after learning the news. But 5 weeks into her pregnancy, Chelsea started having cramps. Her doctor performed an ultrasound and told her 22-year-old mother that she had miscarried. "I left the hospital in tears," she wrote on her page. With further analysis, doctors determined that Chelsea's unborn babies had fallen too close to her cervix, which would have caused the pregnancy to end. "I expected a miscarriage," she wrote. But 8 weeks later, the miscarriage did not happen. So Chelsea had a second ultrasound that revealed an unexpected heartbeat. She went to a new clinic. "I cried with excitement and said I was crying because I was happy," she wrote. The 22-year-old mom's joy distracted her, and she didn't look very carefully at the babies on the screen. She realized something was wrong when a doctor came and started asking Chelsea questions. After investigation, the doctor reported that the twins in the womb were conjoined. From there, it was a bit of a blur. Chelsea wrote in her account of the appointment, "Conjoined twins occur every 49,000 to 189,000 births. Although the phenomenon is more common in Africa and Southwest Asia, about 50% of conjoined babies are stillborn. A third of them die within 24 hours of birth." Chelsea's doctor said she wouldn't have to worry about either scenario. "You will miscarry soon," he said. After that, the 22-year-old mother once again sought another opinion. She went to a doctor who gave her several options, including terminating the pregnancy. "Chelsea, there was no way I could do this. Just the thought of it drove me to tears. I cried every hour." Fortunately, she heard a surgeon in a different perspective. According to this surgeon, the babies had up to a 30% chance of survival. But there is one small problem. The surgeon worked at Children's Hospital in Texas. Unfortunately, the medical center was a 25-hour drive from the family's home in Blackfoot, Iowa. The family packed up and moved to Houston to be closer to the facility. The couple knew their time in Texas would not be short. For a start, Chelsea would give birth to her twins at Monster State, but then they would have to stay close to the hospital because surgery would be needed to separate the babies. But first, Chelsea had to give birth to the twins. Chelsea admitted that she was extremely anxious throughout her pregnancy. Even the preplanned cesarean section made her nervous. She said it was very difficult to know the date of the birth. When that day came, January 30th, 2017, the result was very good. During the surgery, everything felt very strange. But when the twins were born, I was extremely happy. The conjoined twins, Carter and Collie, were perfect according to their mother. But Chelsea was a little scared holding them for the first time. "I was nervous because they looked so fragile," she said. Not only were the twins fragile, but their bodies were intricately intertwined. Carter and Collie's torsos were joined at the abdomen, so the sisters had only one pair of legs. From the waist down, they shared organs. Despite their unique appearance, doctors gave Chelsea and Nick shocking news. Doctors said they did not recommend separating the girls because they were so healthy. So the family packed up their belongings, took their new baby, and headed home to Idaho with no plans to return to the hospital. Daily tasks like driving were difficult for the new parents. After all, the baby's situation was precarious. Although they had survived birth and were deemed healthy by doctors, there was still the possibility that they might not survive their first day. This kind of pressure meant that being the parents of conjoined twins would not be easy in the future. Specialized vehicles were needed for everything from dressing the girls in clothes to driving them around. But the tourist family of 5 was surrounded by a community that supported them all the way. "Chelsea, everyone in our neighborhood is supportive and knows our story. Some people stare, but most people are supportive and say they are following our journey." Carter and Kelly continued to lead a life of health and happiness as they celebrated their second birthday in 2019. A video on Facebook shows them modifying their legs to move across the floor.